Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be talking about and reviewing and analyzing chapter 346 of My Hero Academia. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This was a really fun, exciting chapter. I have honestly no complaints. There is one question I had about something, but it's less of a complaint and more of a question. But overall, this chapter was extremely solid. I'm excited to see how, the mangaka incorporated all these elements into this chapter, how he set things up, how he seamlessly incorporated people's quirks into this. And yeah, if this is your first time on this channel or you've been here before but haven't done so already, would mean the world to me if you could do me a solid, like, share, subscribe, would actually absolutely mean the world to me. Hook a brother up, all right? Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review. All right, everyone, chapter 346, Super Hyper Entrapment Stage. I don't know, the mangaka has some really weird names for like some of these. I'm not gonna lie, I did like the hyper ballistic missile title chapter, but this one is a little bit like, it's a mouthful and it doesn't flow well, but whatever, we're not here to discuss that, right? So we are in the Flying Dome. At the time I thought it was UA. I think it still might be UA. I'm really confused. I don't think it's UA anymore, but like initially I thought it was UA, and they're just in this giant floating, I just want to call it battle dome at this point with what's going on, right? And so, all the heroes are pouring in. Who do we have here? We got Bakugo, we got the I forget this dude's name. The ninja dude, we got Sun Eater, we got Nozuri, and then we got my baby, my homie, best girl, Mirko. And so, they're coming in, they're coming to show up, do their thing. And, everything's set up, but they're all realizing that Deku's not there. And I'm just loving how everyone is kind of freaking out, kind of commenting on the fact that Deku isn't there. And then, best girl Mirko is like, whatever, we're here, let's fuck him up. And I love her. She's got bad bitch energy written all over her. And like, love that character. Just like literally the only person that is like, whatever, we don't need him, or we'll worry about it later. Honestly, like kind of like Luffy energy, like fuck a plan, let's just do what we can do right now, right? And so something very interesting that happens is, to start off the fight, Shigaraki places his hands on the floor and uses decay immediately. I assume his plan is just to kind of like destroy the entire battle arena, limit mobility for everyone else, and increase for himself, as he probably still has quirks that allow him to be mobile. However, after we see the surface level of like whatever it is, the surface level of ground get like decayed, destroyed, all of a sudden it seems like these springs, these blocks shoot up and immediately like evacuate the decayed material, right? And then along with the decayed material, Shigaraki is also sent flying in the air. And I was like, yo, that's super sick. So it seems like they put in some kind of panels that whenever, decay starts to form, whatever, it immediately gets rid of that. That way stopping the flow of decay. Because one of the biggest issues with decay is, as long as like materials are touching, they're going to decay. So I can decay something all the way from here to like maybe a mile away if my quirk is strong enough, if I have enough control over my quirk to do that. And there's no stopping it, because as long as it's touching something decaying, it'll decay itself. And so they realized the best way to do that is to have separate panels, and then anything that gets infected by decay is getting purged immediately. Also on top of that, by flinging the materials up and flinging Shigaraki up, the entire ceiling is lined with some form of electric fence. So Shigaraki immediately gets hit by that. He isn't prepared at all. It takes him completely by surprise, which is super awesome because, when you get electrocuted, it messes up the signals that your brain sends to your body. And so he's immediately shocked. Double entendre. I meant like actually shocked, like inherently, but he's also physically shocked by the electric fence. And also, due to the electricity, he's not able to, control his muscles, control his quirk in that moment, which leaves an opening for Best Genius to come in and, kind of strap him up, right? And so That was all well and good and nice and dandy, but it doesn't last that long. Best Genius is quickly able to like, sorry, not Best Genius. Shigaraki is quickly able to like, decay the gene fiber strings, whatever it is, whatever kind of strings that Best Genius uses, right? So they had a quick little go of it. Not gonna lie, they are doing a phenomenal job, and I can only imagine if the plan actually was executed to like what it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? Because right now they have all the support in the world going on right now, right? They have all the support in the world going on. They have all the they have all the CC, all the crowd control going on. They have all the sub DPS in people like, Mirko and Bakugo and Nizuri and all that. Like Sun Eater, they have all this sub DPS. They're just missing the main DPS right now. They're missing Midoriya, the one that should be able to move as quickly as Shigaraki, the one that can pack blows way harder than Shigaraki. And so, like, had he been here, this would have been a wash. Now, I'm being hyperbolic, of course. I totally believe, that Shigaraki still would have, put on quite the clinic, still would have held his own. But still, nonetheless, it is, bar none, very impressive, the plan they put together and how they were able to put it together. And I am in love with every single moment of it. So, after Shigaraki cuts the wires and stuff, he's like, whatever, I'm not bugging, I'm not tripping. Which, by the way, I'm very interested if he knows he's in a flying fortress right now, or maybe he finds out later when like Best Genius kind of brags and tells him. But he essentially says it doesn't matter. I'll just get rid of all of the ground, like all of it, like cool, you have panels, but you can't keep doing this forever, right? Like, I'll just keep getting rid of everything you make. And Best Genius is like, yeah, that's not going to be a problem. And as I'm reading, I was like, what are you talking about? Because like, he's right. You guys are on a floating island almost. There's no way for you to possibly be able to constantly replenish resources. There is going to, like, I'm sure you guys have some backups, but there is going to come a point in time where like you guys run out of panels. No, I was wrong. They prepared for this. And even though this isn't the way in which I thought that like Class A, especially Class B, would be utilized, I'm okay with it, because like sometimes it's okay to be selfless. Sometimes it is okay to play the support role. Supports are super necessary, and like it has been proven no more than in this case. So we find out that underneath this battle arena, there is just an intricate network of engineers and a bunch of things going on. So we see that, so he points over to where, the panels were initially launched from, and we see them being replaced super quickly, almost immediately. So he tells him this place is a coffin in the sky for you. We look down and we see Creates down there, Cementos is down there, Overhaul is down there, Hatsume is down there, and they are all just putting in work. We have Cementos that is just making the blocks that is going to serve as the panels on the battle floor. We have Creates who is making intricate, sophisticated, gear and mechanisms for Hatsumi to use. I'm also sure in a pinch, if something happens to Cementos, she could possibly make the cement blocks. Also, her ability has the ability to do that, but it's much better than Cementos in the fact that like she can make honestly anything, not just blocks of cement. So that's incredible. And then we just have Overhaul kind of overseeing the entire thing, getting the blocks where they need to be and just hooking it all up. Apparently the anti-decay measures and the other stuff, what is the anti-decay measures and the evacuation system were designed by Nezu, the principal, but like putting all of that together and like kind of just making the I don't want to say the blueprints, but like fine-tuning the blueprints and overhauling and like putting everything seamlessly together was all Hatsume. And once again, I love this character. She's a badass bitch for everything she's been doing. This just stems back from that from the chapter a couple chapters ago where like Deku low-key kind of insults her and says like, I can see why this isn't as important to you, yada 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 yada. And she's like, yo, pause, chill. this is important to me, but this is what I do, this is what I can do the best. And she really is putting the team on her back with everything she's been doing, and I find it to be exceptionally cool. Also, something really nice that I noticed that I thought was super cool was, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but there's like a dude behind Creati that is doing at first I thought he was like had a popcorn cork and was making popcorn. I'm not so sure it's popcorn right now, but what I do know is he is creating food that is going to keep creating sustenance and nourishment for Creati Momo, so that she can continue to create objects. And I kind of wonder if Cementos has the same kind of, weakness for his quirk, because matter, quote unquote, isn't supposed to just be created for something. And something I've really enjoyed about the My Hero Academia world is like, you don't just get powers and then like you just have those powers and then like you more or less get better than them. Your quirks are akin to, like, let's say muscles, like your physical abilities, and like they can grow, but it's not something random where it just randomly grows like in anime. Like, no, they have to be thoroughly trained, they have to be conditioned, you have to have the right diet. Like, certain quirks need certain things, and I like how that's addressed in this series, how Creati can't just willy-nilly just keep infinitely creating matter. Like, no, she has to take in matter and it's converted, and yeah, like the science behind it gets a little bit like hectic, but I do like when there's some exposition and some a little bit of extraness there. So on top of Creati and like Cementos and all the rest of them that are in charge of like the panels and like making sure the infrastructure of everything is holding up, we also have a big issue of, okay, where is all this power coming from? Because obviously they're floating, and you know what? I thought they were going to have some form of, arc reactor or generator or something along those lines, right? Powering this place. No, they're literally doing what we talked about. I want to say not even 2 chapters ago when Naval Laser was talking about, can you imagine a world where, instead of, electric plants and all these things, you just have quirks doing like all the things that we need. And like they're kind of bringing that to light, they're kind of bringing that to fruition in this, because we have a number of electric quirk heroes that are acting as like power capacitors, generators, batteries, whatever you want for this flying fortress, right? We have Kaminari, Charge Bolt, we got, I didn't expect this one, Class B's Comic Man, which is super dope because his power works by creating onomatopoeias, and I really wish I knew Japanese, and I really wish that whoever did this translation told us what the symbol it was that he did. We can kind of assume it probably says electricity, electric voltage, probably something electricity related. I just personally want to know exactly what it is. And then we see 2 people that to my knowledge we've never seen before. We might have, I'm not sure, but we have 4 people total with electric quirks just powering this place. I'm actually surprised at how well Kaminari is taking it. Usually when he has to use up a bunch of electricity, he kind of goes loopy, but he seems to be enjoying himself. It almost seems like he's being charged rather than being drained, but maybe it's just the effect of having 4 other people with him. He's not being drained as much. Maybe he's just high off the fact that he's being useful. Who knows? But they're having a great time. And the more and more I find out about like this battle fortress, what went into it, the more and more I'm like, yes, fuck yes, let's go. You guys really came prepared. You guys really learned from your mistakes. You guys really watched the tape. You really watched the footage. You really learned what exactly is needed of you guys. And I'm all here for it. Now, here comes the part where I had some questions, where I was really confused. There's a moment where, Monoma is like laughing maniacally, going crazy. Apparently he is currently in possession of the eraser quirk, which means Eraser still has the quirk, just he can't use it, which is super weird. Once again, it was never really established that he needed both eyes to use it. We've seen him in the past use one eye. I'd put any amount of money that down the road, Eri-chan is going to fix his eye, as well as fix a bunch of the other problems that many of the other heroes probably have. But anyway, I digress. You have the other water hero, and I forget his freaking name. Basically using his water quirk as like, eye cleaner, eye drops, so that, Monoma doesn't have to blink. And I'm so confused because I'm over here thinking that like they're all at Tartarus or somewhere, or at some different location. but I can't tell if they're here, if they're somewhere else, if Monoma is looking at Shigaraki, because like the line he delivers is, "Oh boy, you sure do hate the what do you say? Oh, you're sure not the biggest fan of Eraser, are you, Mr. Final Boss?" And at first I was like, are you talking to Shigaraki right now, or are you talking to All For One, right? And it kind of seems like he's talking to Shigaraki, because it looks like, I think Shigaraki's about to do some kind of attack to Bakugo and then can't. And so that's when we see that panel of Monoma, Aizawa, and whatever this dude. You know what's funny? I think I know his real name. I feel like his real name is Miguel. Is his real name Miguel? Because I'm getting a Miguel, but I can't remember his superhero name. But yeah, we see the like one Hydro hero, right? Just basically using his quirk to clean out his eyes so that they don't get dry, so that he doesn't have to blink or close his eyes at all. But for whatever reason, it doesn't really seem to work. We see a panel with Shigaraki rolling his eyes into his head, and I'm wondering what that means. Does it mean that like Eraser only works with eye contact? Because once again, that is something we haven't really seen before. That's something that hasn't really been established before. So once again, I'm kind of confused on that. But I don't know. It's weird because like literally right after that, like I'm looking at the panels right now, like Shigaraki uses a new quirk, and I'm just like, okay, if you're using Eraser on him, how is he able to use another quirk? Also, where are you guys? This whole section of panels confuses the mess out of me, so I would greatly appreciate any and all like advice and input and help from any of my viewers who can tell me like what exactly is going on in this set of panels, because I am absolutely lost. Anyway, Shigaraki uses one of the most disgusting quirks I have ever seen, and it seems to be some kind of like cellular generation duplication quirk, because all of a sudden his hand turns into like a mound of like flesh and other hands. It is pure nightmare fodder and fuel and disgusting and scary as hell, and I don't even understand what he's trying to do. Is he about to like hit him with the what's that Dave Chappelle skit? What did the 5 fingers say to the face? And it was like slap. It was like, what did the amalgamation of like 5 hands and like 20 finger like 25 fingers and all this stuff say to like the face? And it's just, I would like, honestly, it makes my skin crawl. I'd be like, don't fucking touch me with whatever the hell that whatever the hell that is, because that thing is disgusting. But yeah, unfortunately, baby girl Mirko seems to take the brunt of the attack. I thought he was attacking Bakugo, but I don't see Bakugo in the panel. All I see is the homie Mirko, which I'm really sad about, because she's like not the only one. Because like I mentioned earlier, we had all these other heroes, and I haven't seen them do a single damn thing. But I didn't get to see Mirko pop off or do anything. I just got to see her take this disgusting attack to the face. So that's quite a letdown. But yeah, he ends it up saying, "I used to think you were so cool. What a letdown, Eraserhead." And yeah, it ends off with it saying Shigaraki remains unfettered. We really, really need to get Deku here. Earlier in this chapter, they were talking about we need to let everyone know. They said this kind of, I think, in the last chapter too. So I think next chapter we're going to switch over to where Deku is. He's probably going to handle the fight with Froppy and Okaku, and then maybe Monoma will come back to get him. Maybe someone else will take him there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head all the people. Maybe Hawks, maybe Dark Crow or whatever his name is, possibly Monoma. There's a lot of heroes, probably a bunch that I'm not thinking about, that could definitely get him there. The animal dude could have a bunch of birds take him, but it depends on the distance. But I think the easiest way to get this done is just to have Monoma like teleport again. Apparently the 5-minute quirk limit is still there, so that's actually going to be a problem. I thought it was more along the lines of that's how long he could hold a quirk, but as long as the quirk is still there, he could re-up on it. That doesn't seem to be the case. But yeah, all in all, awesome chapter, very action oriented, very action heavy. You know what I'm about to say next. Can't wait for this to get animated. Can't wait to watch this live. And yeah, so far so good. I am loving this plan, which actually makes me kind of nervous, because the better the plan and the better the plan is being executed, the more it seems like something could go wrong and like completely fuck up in the end. Like Well, honestly, the thing that went wrong was Deku, but I think that there are more things to go wrong in store. Also, I'm curious if, All Might will make another appearance. I've always had this feeling that All Might, like, he's had several times where it's like, this is it, this is it, this is it, but I really think this might be it. I think he might just pull all his power together for like one last devastating attack, and I do think this is where he dies. I've said before that it would be kind of stupid to kill him later, just because he's had so many ample opportunities to die for his input to end. But I guess right here would be another good time. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about this chapter. Let me know what you think will happen next. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. And this has been Otaku Talk. I'm your host, OD. Take care and peace.
Thank you.